It recognizes our belief in God, our country, not just individuals, our country, our founding fathers codified this in the documents that founded this country. Our reliance, our belief in God, and our reliance upon God. Of that, there's just no debate on that. You may like it, may not like it. Declaration of Independence, we find these truths to be self-evident, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, of which are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It goes on in the Constitution to say we are putting together this Constitution in a preamble to secure the blessings, not only for ourselves, for posterity. And that Constitution followed with a Bill of Rights that enumerated those godly rights given to man, including the very first one, which was a right to believe in God and to express that belief anytime, anywhere, including the public square.
33 million. It's proven to the money investors that people want something to feed their souls, not just their worst desires.
Absolutely.
And
yes, indeed.
This kind of sums up my entire dialogue career on the heat of the night. You ready for this? Okay, this is it. My 7 years on the heat of the night. My dialogue all summarized in this. Get right on it, Chief.
Skinner, but Bubba's my name. I like my iced tea sweet and my women the same. I'm your brown-haired badge here in little old Sparta, but nobody's bigger or tougher or smarter. If you're looking to fight, best not be with me. Gonna be held tight, well now we'll just see. You never know in the heat of the night on TNT. Heat of the night on TNT. Now I don't put on any airs, but then I ain't no slob. Just a redneck boy with a blue-collar job. The ladies I date, they gonna have them some fun, cause I'm a big hunk of crime fighting son of a gun. So if you're looking to fight, come on up in the ring. You wanna be held tight, just about anything. And it happen in the heat of the night on TNT. Hubba, 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 hubba. Heat of the night on TNT. Yeah.
Behind the mic at KXEX, this is the Alan Autry Show. No retreat.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
What the hell's going on out here? Everybody crabbing out there. Nobody.
That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
So, 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Free at last! Free at last!
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now, 559-899-1550.
And welcome to Alan Autry, No Retreat. I'm old Alan Autry, always honored and humble to have you with us on Taco Tuesday, and to welcome Bullet Bob Lioni. Welcome,
Hello,
Bullet.
Huss. Thank you very much.
Now, you just informed me that it is not only Taco Tuesday here at KXX, which it is every Tuesday, but it is
National Taco Day.
It's National Taco Day.
Yeah, across the country. So let's celebrate National Taco Day by not having any tacos again.
You know,
last few years, you committed last week that you're going to bring tacos. That didn't happen again.
But you know, isn't this whole taco thing in this country getting a little out of hand? I'm getting a little tired of it. Let's start bringing, elevate enchiladas or guacamole day. It's taco everything. Taco trucks. Taco this.
Tamale
Taco Tuesday.
Thursday. Tamale Thursday. That'd be good.
Yes, just something.
Yeah.
I mean, we could stay in the Mexican genre of food.
No, I love that.
But we got to. There's more to the Mexican culinary menu than tacos.
Yeah.
And if you listen to everybody, it's just taco. So anyway, but we're going to keep Taco Tuesday. All right, let me do a little cleanup here. Yesterday's show, I spent pretty much the whole show, Jeremy, didn't I? Have my thoughts on the war in Ukraine and Putin possibly, and I think clearly using a rope-a-dope Muhammad Ali tactic. And you got to understand, Putin's a big boxing and martial arts fan. He's seen that rope-a-dope Muhammad Ali. I'm not saying that in itself inspired what he's doing, but the whole concept of letting a army throw its best punches early and then come back with a counteroffensive is something that's been warfare strategy forever. Back in the days, the early days, thousands of years. And I just think that's going. We know that they have Pearl. They in China have some of the highest level advanced tanks in the world that can run circles around the United States model. The United States admits that. Where are they? They're not there, and we haven't seen them in Ukraine. You see these old ones blown up everywhere. And as not too long ago, you saw the Russians advancing, taking land, Ukraine retreating, gathering themselves, and now we're seeing the counteroffensive. Mm-hmm. Well, that's exactly what's going on with Putin. He's roping a dope there. He should give us the best shot, pull those folks in, and then I just happen to think that hell is going to rain from above, on the ground, and everywhere. What's your thoughts? And then no one. My point yesterday on the show: no one calling for peace except Macron raising his hand a little bit. Could we just consider peace, Mr. Biden? No, shut up. We got to destroy them, grind them into dust. Nuclear war, be damned. I don't care. And Germany is starting to say, hey, let's try to get to the peace table. But no one from America, from the president to Congress to the Senate.
Why is that?
Man, that's my point on the whole show. Oh. You talk about being triggered. I get triggered because you know what? We're old. We're going to be out of the, we're going to be meeting our maker pretty soon. But our kids and our grandkids, how much you love your grandkids, I don't want to see them incinerated or living in a radioactive planet. I mean, in New York, did you see those public service announcements they're doing in New York?
No.
Yeah, they're doing these public service announcements on how to react to a nuclear attack. Oh, and you know what they're saying?
Sounds like us in the 50s in school.
Yes. And they said, when it happens, run inside and go under a table.
Hide under your desk.
Under a table, exactly. And when radioactive dust gets on you, make sure you shower right away. As if the plumbing is going to work after they drop the bomb on New York City.
I think that might be your least problem is taking a shower.
The world has gone freaking insane. And you look at our leaders, which America is still hanging on to the title of being the world leader for democracy. Other countries still look a little bit. Some countries have totally written us off. That's what this new world order is all about. But they're still looking at Western Europe going, really, what do we do, America? And we got Joe Biden through clenched teeth and said, we're not going to negotiate until Putin's out of there. Lloyd Austin saying we're not going to be happy with this situation, and victory means grinding the entire, really, country of Russia militarily into dust. And anyway, my point to bring it up again, I got accused again of stealing Fox talking points, in particular Tucker Carlson. He's probably the only one out there speaking against this whole war is the only answer, complete war ideology and strategy that we have there. More world, escalate. That's the policy of the United States right now and Western Europe, most of Western Europe. He outlined some of the same points that I gave on this show, almost verbatim. Now, listen, I don't worship at the altar of Tucker Carlson. I think he gets some things right. Some I think are way off. My wife just doesn't like him at all. He's very opinionated, but sometimes I line up with his beliefs. Some I don't. But our show comes on at 12 noon Pacific time. His show, I believe, comes on at 4 or 5 Eastern time. 3-4 hours later than my show. I can't take notes from his show to do my show. It just so happens that two people who have a little bit of a platform, he's got a big one, I got a little platform, that we see the same thing unfolding, and it scares the living daylights out of us, and it should. It doesn't mean you don't have courage. The stuff Lindsey Graham is demonstrating, no negotiation, blow him off the face of the war. He never met a war he didn't like. Yeah, it's easy for Lindsey Graham to send other people's kids to war.
Well, and that's exactly what happened in Vietnam.
Go ahead.
Exactly what happened in Vietnam. You had all the warmongers that said, well, no, we need to stay there. Hey, let's do this. Let's send more troops over there. And if that doesn't work, let's send more troops over there. And these were all the guys, Robert McNamara and all of these guys in the White House, and Johnson, just wanted to continue to send more of our troops over there. And there was never any indication, at least during the 60s, that they wanted any kind of a peace agreement with North Vietnam, and they didn't get it. So what do? We keep sending, and it's the same thing happening all over again. You're sending, well, you're not sending troops at this point, but we're sending arms.
It's a proxy war.
Money. No doubt. It's a proxy war. And we're sending arms and money, a lot of arms, and somebody's making a buck off the deal.
And Zelensky.
And I hate to be so cynical, but we've talked about this. It's almost ad nauseum now that it's going to be a long, protracted war of attrition and everything else. Putin just called up, made the request for 300,000 more troops from ex-military or military age men now in Russia. He's got a lot of pushback from that, from some of the folks there. But it's not going to change his strategy.
He's got some bloggers against him.
Yeah, he's not going to change his strategy, not going to change his mind. He's going to do what he needs to do, come hell or high water. And to think that he may not use these nuclear armaments. And I had it, and I got a new notebook because I ran out of pages in my other one, and I left my other notebook.
You've always taken good notes, even back when we were in high school together. You took notes.
Well, I drew a lot.
I never did.
Drew a lot of pictures to pretend like I was taking notes. But I left a bunch of stuff in my other binder that detailed the kind of armaments that he still has at his disposal. And these things are frightening.
They are.
And
conventional
short range nuclear weapons.
But they have also conventional weapons they have not used. They've got these bombs with the blast capacity almost of a nuclear bomb without the fallout, without the radiation.
Mm-hmm.
They're just massive.
And that was one of the things.
Massive bombs. They've got, like I said, like these tanks that they have that can run circles. Them and the Chinese developed it together. Hasn't even seen the battlefield yet. Where's the cyber attacks? He's held back on the cyber attacks. Now, mind you, this is the same dictator, Putin, that the left said was so brilliant and was so efficient and strong in his cyber attack capabilities that he was able to affect our election. Okay. Now he's an incompetent guy with a military that can barely hold a rifle. Okay. So he went from being this super military threat. If you listen to the media and you listen to the left and many on the right, from there to because you want the Ukraine to win so bad, all these publications blowing up and exaggerating every Ukrainian win, downplaying any Russian advance, saying Putin's on thin ice at home, somebody's going to take him out, all of this stuff that basically is, I feel, a little bit of truth wrapped in a whole bunch of propaganda. You see no pictures from the front. You'll read an article of how the Ukraine has routed Russian forces, and down at the bottom of the article it said, we have no video to confirmation of the statements from the Ukrainian military. You don't see it, which makes me wonder what's really going on here. And I think the bottom line is very obvious. You have not seen all that there is to the Russian military. They have the ability to knock out satellites way beyond our capacity. They've invested a lot of money in space warfare, where we were laughing at Trump going, we need to start the space program, the space warriors, or whether it's space, the name that the left laughed at. Yeah. And that is a very important piece of this. They have not used it. And again, they have not unleashed their cyber attacks. They were able to shut down a whole rail line here in the United States of America. So I am very, very concerned, and I'm just looking for the voice of reason, the voice of sanity to come out of the American government.
You and Tucker on the same wavelength. That's
well on this particular subject. I'm looking around and he's saying the same thing. On this particular issue, throw politics out the window and say, this is so obvious. Do you not see the risk? And then when I see General Petraeus, a hero over in Iraq, on TV last night, saying we should keep going, even if he uses, he being Putin, a battlefield nuke. And he was asked, to the interviewer's credit, they asked him, because he was on, I think, CNN. He says, okay, that happens. What if that happens? Petraeus is sitting there listening intently. What does the president do? The president has sent him a communique directly. I know that for a fact. Told Putin, if you use a battlefield nuke, this is what's going to happen. And he says, well, what's going to happen, General Petraeus, in your estimate? What was in that communique? And he went, again, tipping hat to him. He didn't clam up. He said what he felt was in the communique. He knows what's in the communique. He's a top-level advisor, whether he's official or not there. Quite does. He says, you're going to knock out every ship, Russian ship in the ocean, going to go and knock out every Russian satellite, every Russian base, going to cross over into Russia, basically World War III, direct confrontation with Russia. Now, what wasn't asked, and I was waiting for it, okay, what do you think, General Petraeus, the Russians will do?
Yeah, they're not going to sit idly by and let all that happen.
You think?
Yeah. Well, it's like.
Do you see the absurdity? Do you see the insanity of this?
It's like the Wolverine in the corner that we talked about last week. When you get him cornered,
I'm hooked.
Come out fighting.
Yes, and if you're battling for your life, your very existence, and Putin considers the encroachment of NATO and the push towards Russia as a threat to their existence, which will only at home this happens. You're going to have people that are going to head and support him. Then you have this mutual assured destruction and saying, rather than give up Mother Russia, I will take the whole world with me.
Yep, to the last man.
There is that mentality out there. We think that no rational person
what does he have to lose at that point?
Right.
He's got nothing to lose.
And you have a man who would, and they're betting on, he won't do that. He's not that crazy to blow up the whole world for Mother Russia, because Mother Russia would die. Have you ever seen homicidal folks, after they shoot a bunch of people, what they usually do? They shoot themselves. They've given up on life. They kill other people to go with them. They do crazy, crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You think the mullahs, the radical mullahs in Iran, if they get if they get nuclear weapons, that they will not eventually use them? Because in that ideology, not the entire Muslim faith, there's people that translate the Quran differently. But the radicals that are in Iran right now translate it that, and I'm just paraphrasing this, but I'll give you the general idea, that the end of the world will come when, I think it's the 9th Imam or so, comes to earth and basically takes care of everything. Just wipes out all the infidels. And that will happen when the world is in extreme chaos. That's how they interpret that passage of the Quran that speaks of what I just talked about. And what better way, and I've heard very smart people, a lot smarter than me, analyze this about radical Islam. What better way to create world chaos than to start a nuclear war? Because after that Imam comes, then there's paradise for those who bow at the altar of radical Islam. They get to go to heaven. The others get to hell. So you imagine that kind of thinking. And when it's a religion, shoot, yeah, they'll drop a bomb on atomic bomb on Israel. But what if it tears Jordan? What if they fire back and hit you? So what? Here's the chaos. Come on, Imam.
Mm-hmm. That's
the kind of things we're dealing with. And Putin, when he says, I'm not bluffing, to just say, I'm going to buy that, I'm not going to buy that, he is bluffing. Very dangerous poker game to play. Because if you lose, you call that bluff and he shows his cards. It'll be the death hand, the old aces and eights. Except everybody's dead, not Wild Bill Hickok alone. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We got Laura on the line. We'll bring Laura in. And then we want to get to this comment about who should receive the relief funds in Florida first. Our Vice President, Kamala Harris, has an idea of where those funds should go first. Is your contact, is it still out of whack? Bobby's contact Bullet Bob's contact got out of whack there.
And I don't know why. I've been wearing these things for, not the same pair, but I've been wearing contacts for 20 years. And every now and again.
I tried them. I couldn't do it.
Every now and again, that thing will just slip. And I don't know where it can go. I mean, it can't go too far, but it goes far enough to create blurry.
I look better, don't I?
Oh, man. Look like Rock Hudson.
Boy, was that ever a name. Rock Hudson. Now you'll be an actor named Rock Hudson.
Hey, are you going to do this promo?
Yes, yeah, we come back. Let's do that. Okay. Let's do the promo.
You don't, then
yes,
your pay's going to get docked because Guillermo's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And we got to keep Guillermo happy.
Well, since Guillermo doesn't pay me.
1 minute?
Oh, never mind. Here, I don't
make anything of this show.
I don't need it.
I don't make $1 on the show. Any sponsor the money goes to the mentoring program, Legacy Education Inc., a great nonprofit that serves at-risk youth. One of these days we'll have a whole show talking about them. They do great work.
Mm-hmm. You should.
Yeah, and plug your golf tournament.
I think something like that needs to be exposed. Yeah. It needs to get more publicity. Because you hear of all the lousy stuff going on.
Yeah.
What about all the good stuff?
Like that mega golf tournament. You're going to have a lot of explaining to do, Lucy.
Yeah.
Do you guys still call it that?
Well, that's what it is.
Well, I'm with you, but you probably would want to explain what that stands for.
But the MAGA stands for the Mexican American Golf Association.
They have a term, and we
had the name first.
They had the name MAGA before Trump stole it.
Before Trump stole it and turned it into a whole different thing.
I was responsible for the term groovy. I believe that with all my heart on our honor roll trip to San Francisco. At 6th grade. We were at Haight-Ashbury. Our staff didn't know anything. We stayed at a hotel at Haight-Ashbury. Bunch of 6th graders.
1963.
All our staff had the crew cuts. Riverdale had no idea.
We literally walking
30
down the street,
seconds?
looking at all the buildings.
Yeah. Wow. Remember those people coming up going, uppers, downers, asking us if we want to buy drugs? You don't remember that?
I remember the guys the hawkers out in front of
the nudie
joint.
bars.
Yeah, trying to get sixth graders to go in.
Come on in.
Have a drink.
10 seconds.
I'm ready. Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, I got to put my glasses on. Hopefully my contact will stay. Tough having round contacts and square objects.
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now, 559-899-1550.
And welcome back to Alan Autry No Retreat on Taco Tuesday. Before we forget, Bob, why don't we have a few announcements here and let folks in on what we got.
Well, we have a local debate this evening. And KXEX is going to be there. Clovis City Council debate. There are 10 candidates. You want me to name them?
Speed read them.
Okay. Matt Basgall, Drew Bessinger, Kyle Cheney, Des House, Joseph Hebert, Mark Allen Kazanjian, Guy Redner, Martine Salas, Diane Pierce, and Joshua Fanko are all of the folks running for Clovis City Council. KXEX going to be there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of them.
10. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, to throw your hat in the ring in any capacity right now in today's political climate is says something about folks. Either they're crazy or they really love their community. I'm going to pick the latter.
Yeah,
that they love their community. So then the top 3 folks get seated on this. This is a new voting structure. So the top 3 will become city councilmen in Clovis. So you want to go there. Okay, I had my notes here to do that, but you did that. And now let's go to Laura on the line. Laura. ¿Qué pasó, amiga? Laura, you there?
I'm here.
All right. How you doing, dear?
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah. Well, let us into that mixed bag. What's going on?
My husband was going to go to jail on Sunday night.
Uh-oh. What did he do?
They had an incident at the Utilities Commission. They have a new director of electric who decided he wasn't going to follow my husband's logistics protocols and sent out 4 apprentice linemen with no lead linemen to go help on a job and did not drop the lines and electrocuted a 24-year-old 5-month-in apprentice.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And then wanted to behave flippantly about it, and my husband is the size of a Kodiak bear and has probably one of the best temperaments of any human being I've ever known, and he began to choke him out.
Literally? For real?
Literally. It took 4 people to get him off of the director of electric, and then when the lead lineman who defibrillated the kid while the EMTs were on their way came in with a loaded gun and said he was going to blow Vernon's head off.
Oh, my gosh.
It got that intense.
That's some drama. That's beyond drama. Wow.
So what happened?
We don't even know, and we still don't know if this boy's going to live or not. He's still in grave condition.
Oh, that's sad on so many levels. Listen,
because it was 100% preventable. 100%.
Yeah.
My husband did not want those apprentices out there because they didn't have the experience to make any kind of judgment calls. And they assumed, because they're kids and they are not experienced, that the director of electric made sure those lines were de-energized. And they weren't.
Oh, boy. Well,
and even
gosh.
after they were screaming for him to drop the line, he didn't drop the line, and a second one got electrocuted. Thankfully, she's not in a life-threatening situation like this kid is.
Mm-hmm. Well, our prayers go out to this young man and his family. Hope he pulls through that, and for your husband and everybody. I tell you, I don't know enough about it. You've related to me, but I will say this. Put my nose in something I probably shouldn't. I will say this. Been in government, when you see people who either defending policies or opposing policies, and there is either a loss of life or people getting hurt badly, and they seem flippant about it. They seem like it's just not carrying the weight with them that it should, and especially when they try to skirt responsibility on it, it can really hit folk pretty rough. It can trigger some stuff emotionally. I've been there, and as mayor, I have to show restraint, and I'm sure your husband's going through that whole gamut of what it could have, should have. But it's just because you occupy an office or a position of leadership doesn't mean your heart stops ticking. You don't have emotions and things like this can really. I've been in kind of similar situations in terms of, having something similar to that where there was loss of life and somebody just kind of flippantly saying, well, we don't need a stoplight there. There's only been like 3 deaths there in the last 5 years, and let's just move on. And, well, if it was your relative there, one of those 3 that were killed, you would listen to the debate on putting the red light in, not just kind of one instance that I dealt with. That
the thing that made my husband snap is this is literally a life or death job every time they go out there.
Right.
And this guy from day one, since he was brought in, he tries to ignore safety protocols because it's all about getting it done fast.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband has tried to explain to him, it's not about how fast you get it done. It's how safely and how effectively you get it done, because it's not just about endangering linemen. You could blow up someone's house.
Yeah.
You could kill residents. And he has never wanted to hear it.
Wow.
And my husband warned the CEO, you need to keep him out of the loop because this is going to be a problem. And sure enough, the kid got electrocuted and my husband snapped.
Yeah. Well, so sorry about that. And I hope everything works out the way it's supposed to there, Laura. Thanks for sharing that with us. You have a statement.
I've got a statement on Zelensky.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to go on to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He said that negotiation is an impossibility.
Mm-hmm.
He won't even entertain it. He won't discuss it. He believes that they need to keep fighting this war, and he is not willing to give up anything.
Mm-hmm. And
so how do you, the only thing that we have left because of the laziness of our administration, of the current administration, and the laundry list of missed opportunities before this war even began, all we have left is to give Zelensky an ultimatum. And I don't see that happening.
I think it'll happen, but it'll be after so many people have been killed. Because, Laura, here's what I think about Putin. If you just look at it in reality, step back from the emotion, stop trying to make Zelensky some saint, which he's not, and you don't want to make Putin a saint, obviously. He invaded the country. It's so many horrible things about that. But we are, as they say, we are where we are. So what? Now what do we do? Okay, you can't go back in time. We don't know what the future holds, but it looks like the future is going to hold a really, really bad situation, not only there in Ukraine and Russia, but around the world. Here's what I think's going on. I mean, it makes no other sense to me. I'm looking at it going, Zelensky, Biden, warmongers everywhere. Do you see what's happening here? You're thinking that tough talk. Because Zelensky, make no mistake, Lauren, I know you agree with it. He's taking his direction directly from Washington, from Joe Biden. Joe Biden says he needs to be removed from office. And then, by the way, this pipeline that was blown up, Nord Stream, saying that the Russians did that to their own pipeline. The United States did that. They either had somebody do it, because he's on record as saying the Nord Stream pipeline will not happen. He will stop it. The likely suspect, it didn't take a Perry Mason to say, America, you're the one. You're saying he's the one that put the gun to his head, committed suicide by shooting himself in the head 4 times? No, that isn't what happened. And the thing is he's biding time, gathering all this, and people don't realize that the Russians have been out. I'm going to finish my point in just a second here and let you talk.
Yeah.
But the Russians have been outnumbered on the battlefield. Now, people think that Russia came in with all these troops, a couple of 100 million people in the country, massive more troops, that they've just outnumbered the Ukrainians. Ukrainians are beating back those numbers with just a small little band of warriors. Exactly the opposite. Ukrainians have more troops. That's about to change, okay? And when he's coming back gathering this stuff as winter sets in, okay, and Ukraine as well as all of Western Europe have to deal with this long, cold winter, that's when the offensive is going to come with everything. And here's the box with his tough talk Zelensky has painted himself into, as well as Biden. What if, I would ask them, what if, you may think it's remote, I think it's an absolute, if not surety, a real strong possibility that the tide turns, that he brings out the big weapons and he starts wiping out these encampments. He brings out his cyber attacks. He brings out everything that he has in China, and then it's the Ukrainians that are on the retreat, the Ukrainians that are getting hammered and smashed, and they say, wait, let's talk. And Putin says, wait a minute. Remember back when you said you wouldn't negotiate peace under any circumstances? Now you want me to show you mercy? You want me now to say that? I never said publicly that I wouldn't negotiate. You did. I never said publicly that you needed to go from office, Zelensky. I never said that. Neither did my generals. During all of this, we never said you had to be removed. We didn't try to foment an insurrection inside your country. And now because you're getting hammered, you've been pushed back all the way to the Polish border, you want to say, now let's talk? Do they not see that he slowly but surely, you're giving Putin some moral ground that he doesn't deserve? He's smart. He knows with his people. All he has to please is his people in China.
He doesn't even have to please his people. Let's get that.
Okay, go ahead, and Bob, you jump in.
Yeah, he wouldn't have recruited 144,000 people who have zero military experience, given them no training, and told them, this was explicitly in their little training video that got leaked on the internet, to get tampons and sanitary napkins from your spouses or your mothers so that you can plug your bullet holes.
Yeah, I hear stuff like that, and I go, you got to get more than
wow.
that. I got to see the document. I got to hear somebody, a real Russian soldier, say that. No, I have to see it. That's so absurd. I have to give more evidence than somebody on the internet saying that this is what they, from a reliable source inside the Russian military, says that he told them to get tampons. That is something that Putin is too egotistical to have that be told. He's too egotistical to tell his soldiers to go grab a tampon from their wife or to go off to war. There's no way he said that.
The Ukrainians are using them too.
Why? Okay. So anyway, what is the point?
My point.
What's the point?
Wait, can I say something?
I hope you're right.
Because some of this.
First of all, I hope you're right.
Alan, he doesn't have the cyber capability.
I hope you're right.
Elon Musk for that.
I hope you're right. Why did Elon Musk say they should call a truce now and give Russia the Donbass region and go have peace? Why did Elon Musk agree with me on this?
He didn't say give them the Donbass region. He never said that. He said to give them, because they've only annexed Crimea. Crimea is not recognized officially as a part of Russia. He said to give them Crimea. He said to negotiate water rights for Crimea.
Mm-hmm.
He did not say give them the Donbass region. And the reason he came out and said that is because he wants the death to end. But you can thank Elon Musk for the lack of cyber attacks coming out of Russia, because he shut down 2/3 of their satellites, and they don't have the capabilities to hack into them.
They have the ability to shoot. They have the ability to shoot them down.
No, Alan, it's not that simple.
Well, they showed how simple it was when they went up there and destroyed one about a year ago.
I explained to you what that was. That has nothing to do with that, and it is an extremely difficult thing. I read about science all the time.
Does China have the?
I watch the NASA channel, for crying out loud.
Okay.
I know how this works. My cousin is an aeronautical engineer. He works for SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
He told me what that thing is.
Okay.
It does not have, they just at will. It's not like.
I hope you're right.
Just will do that.
I hope you're right.
I know I'm right.
No, I hope you're right. I hope.
My cousin has been in a Soviet rocket.
I hope it gets. You're saying that Ukraine is going to defeat Russia, and I hope you're right.
That's right.
Without nuclear war. Yeah, I hope Ukraine can defeat Russia without nuclear war. I do not believe it, but I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Speak for just a moment. May I please speak for just a moment?
I think you have.
Without being in, I really would appreciate it. One of the reasons that I believe that Putin is putting nuclear weapons on the table is because things are not going as he planned. Things are not going quite as well as he thought they are. I don't know where you're getting your information, but I can tell you I get information from hackers who are putting information out there that things are not going as well for Vladimir Putin as he thought they were. When someone isn't getting their way and things aren't working out the way they want, they then take a last resort option. If he was planning all this, why would he even threaten nuclear?
I didn't say he was. I didn't say he was planning all this. I didn't say, Laura. He came out before at the very early stages in the war. He refused to take nuclear weapons off the table. This is not something that happened when he was. This isn't a new development. He didn't just say that when he was backed into a corner. He didn't just say that when he backed into the corner. He reiterated it, but he didn't. He said it early on that everything's on the table. Just like Trump said.
His last statement pushing them out.
Yeah.
And that makes me question why. If he's so in such a position to be able to go on a counteroffensive in the winter and take everything, why? Why does he even have to do that?
I'm not saying he would do that. I'm not saying
150,000 people who have absolutely no clue what the hell they're doing over there.
Let me rephrase that. I don't think he's going to do it during. I think he's going to make it's tough to fight a war during the winter. The Russians have tried it many times. They've had to. I think they're going to wait till the spring after they've been through a bitter, cold winter and had to camp out there to hold the ground that they've taken, because they got to hang out there and hold the ground in the winter. They have to have food. They have to have. Hold on. I let you talk, and I appreciate your points. And I hope you're right. You're not getting what I'm saying. I hope you're right, but my logical brain that I can't help tells me there's something up. It's not going to be like a hot knife through butter as people are painting it and think it's going to be. I think there is going to be a counteroffensive. Is it going to be successful? I don't know. Do I think he has a good chance of being successful? Yes, I do. And I think for a lot of the reasons I mentioned, Ukraine now heading into November, December, January, and February have to hold those positions in the dead of winter or retreat back. That is a big task. And I just think that and in spring, after they've been there, or there'll be, I think, targeted attacks during that winter. And I just think it's just not, to me, cut and dry that if you just keep arming Zelensky and arm it with no definition of what victory is, that you're going to be acceptable other than total 100% defeat of the Russian army and Putin is taken out of office. I think that's a bad road to go down.
But that's the road we're on. And the thing is,
and I think it's the wrong road.
But you have to get a little more aligned to the reality that Russia is not in as much of a military position as you think they are. They don't even, like as I said, they don't even have satellite communications on the ground. Thank you, Elon Musk. That has a lot to do with it. They are running, these people on the ground are running out of supplies. They're surrendering because they're starving, because they don't have sleeping bags. That's going to be a problem going forward. I mean, could you imagine if we were in World War II and we just started surrendering left and right to Germany?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay. Just for one moment. Just take a step back. I'm going to take a step back. Put yourself, because you do a lot of research on personalities and stuff, and it's really, really good stuff. I'm going to ask you for this moment. Put yourself, you're Vladimir Putin. Okay? You're Vladimir Putin, and all that comes with that in your mind, assessing this situation. What do you do?
Well, it's going to be very, very hard for me because I'm an empathetic person.
No, but go ahead. Just to put yourself in that position, what would you do? I can. You can do that. Put yourself in. You're Vladimir Putin. What would you do facing what he's facing right now?
What he's facing, he's going to use a nuclear weapon.
Okay.
I believe that wholeheartedly because of his personality. Because this is not a man. Stop saying that he wants to please his people, because he does not care. He will lead them all to slaughter in order to get what he wants. He is a sociopath, through and through.
How many of the Russian people are willing to go to slaughter? Willingly.
Not as many as he thought.
Okay.
But the problem is he has such a control.
So you feel he will use it. You feel that he will use it. And I didn't try to play gotcha. I just want to know you. So you have to feel that high-ranking officials may have done that same exercise. I know that's what generals do.
No, I don't think
they put their what do you do now? What is the policy fighting that situation, knowing not knowing if, because you're saying he'll use it, then it's a matter of when. When is he going to do that? And then if he uses it, let me just ask you this. He uses it, the weapon. Now I want to put yourself in Biden's position. What do? You're Biden. You're Putin. You've used it. You feel you have to. You've used the nuclear weapon. Now you're Biden. What do?
Listen, if I knew what was going on in that scary rat trap,
come on. I expect more of you, Laura. Come on. Come into it. You're in Biden. These are tough. We have hard choices segment. You've seen it. This is a hard choice. Just answer. Just answer the question.
I think there's something that is pertinent to this conversation. The biggest problem with this administration from the
No, Laura, I can't use showtime on this. I asked a question. Please answer. Please respect me on this. Take this hypothetical.
I do not know, and the reason why I don't know.
What would you do if you were Biden? You're president. Putin has used a nuclear weapon. What do you do?
Alan, I can't give you a soundbite answer on that.
I'm giving you, Lauren. I've given you practically the whole show.
Can we quit fighting about it and let me answer?
No, not your way. I want you to answer the question. What would you do if you were Biden? I'll answer whether I was Putin or Biden. I'll answer it. I know you could answer it.
Biden would literally be so stunned because everyone in this
No, you're Biden. You're Biden. You're Biden.
I don't think they would do anything. And I'll tell you why. Because every single the Obama administration and even back in the Bush administration, they have underestimated him. They've treated him like a joke. They've treated him like a minor player. And this is why we are in the position that we are in this moment.
I agree.
I
agree.
Now,
so your answer is he does nothing. That's your answer. That could be. Well, you gave an answer, and I appreciate that. You'd think that probably could be what he does. I mean, Petraeus said he would do such and such. We don't know. I was asking what you would do if you were Biden in that position. So he does nothing. He does nothing. What does Putin do? Does he drop and keep going with the nukes, or what does he do? Because Biden does nothing.
I think he wants to make a point. I think he wants what he wants. And I think that they better buckle up because even if he uses something tiny in his arsenal to get his point across, there's not going to be any real negotiating with a sociopath because the moment you give him something, he's going to see this as a green light to move on to countries that don't have.
You wouldn't say, let me ask you this. I hear what you're saying. Is one strategy that might make some sense is stop and negotiate with him? He's 70 years old. He's going to be dead soon. That you sit there and you negotiate an acceptable situation, let Vladimir Putin get old and die, and see what's behind him, coming in behind him. Would that be a possible strategy that should or maybe be considered? My position is all things should be considered because the only thing I'm seeing in the United States government and only Germany and France seem to have stood up and say, look, we don't like these options that may happen with this guy. Okay, we don't want to be incinerated. We don't want nukes being used. We've seen what's going on. Let's try to talk this out. Macron and Olaf have sent those type of messages out. Biden and the hardcore war hawks here in America have not. They're the ones that are influencing Zelensky. And my point is, to have some other scenarios other than all-out war, and we're going to grind the military machine in Russia out of existence, and he's not going to use the nuclear weapons. I think just having that one option is not only not smart, I think it's terribly destructive.
The leader of the country that needs to be negotiating willing to listen to anyone. So you have two leaders who are both being obstinate, and we can't just go and just start smooth talking Zelensky. It would have to be put in an ultimatum.
Why can't America tell Zelensky, listen, we have a lot invested in you. This guy's thinking about using nuclear weapons because of this. So America's interest is something you need to listen to in your decision making. What's wrong with that?
It'd have to be with us. We would have to say, look, you're going to have to consider certain things that you would be willing to give up.
Yeah, we did that. Exactly. We agree on that. We did that in World War II. Roosevelt told Winston Churchill, look, Patton's going to run this, not Marshall. Marshall can do this, this, and this. Eisenhower's going to be the guy calling the shots here in this war because we're sending our troops over there to die. This is not unprecedented. What's unprecedented is to send this much money to a country and have no influence. At least in Vietnam, you had American troops there, Americans making the decisions, American generals for American lives out there. It was disastrous.
Do you think Putin's the only sociopath in this mix? Our Secretary of State, I think, is pretty close to sociopath.
No, we agree on that. We agree on that a lot.
So when you got two sociopaths making decisions, we got problems.
I agree.
Not a good thing.
Laura, I agree. And hey, we're running out of time. And listen, thanks for another spirited discussion. I love you. And and sincerely, this is good stuff.
You and I could not be in the same room together.
Yeah, we could. We'd go out to have us a good old dinner there, you and Vernon and me and my wife. No, listen, and again, I have to reiterate this. I hope he gives up. I hope he learns his lesson. You don't invade another country.
He won't.
But my feeling is we have to be rational here because one wrong move and confusion. North Korea just shot a missile over Japan. It's like Kim Jong-un saying, hey, I'm not the only crazy man on the planet. Putin's not the only crazy man. You forgot about me. I could send a nuke to Japan anytime I want. Japan went into full alert. They went inside, ran inside their houses. He's got nuclear weapons.
Needy ex-girlfriend. Him and Erdogan are needy ex-girlfriends. They just want somebody to love them and pay attention to
exactly
them.
Right. You're absolutely right. But if push comes to shove and push the button, anyway, Laura, thank you, my dear. Appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
All righty.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, it's a very interesting. And I hope Laura's right. It keeps me up at night. This stuff that's going on, just like the Cuban Missile Crisis. We were youngins back then, 11, 12 years old.
Kids.
But we knew what was going on. Going to bed at night.
You may
I did. I knew when they said,
I didn't know too much.
When Kennedy said, if you cross this line, you'll get a full retaliatory response. I understood what full retaliatory response meant. It meant nukes. We were doing the drills, the nuclear bomb drills. You remember that?
Yeah.
I thought any moment it could come over, man.
We did fire drills and nuke drills.
Yeah. Nuclear bomb has. Make sure you get under that desk because
the plywood desk.
That nuclear bomb cannot penetrate that plywood. That's the best plywood.
Let me save my pencils.
That's the best plywood that Riverdale High School budget can buy, and it is strong, man.
Oh, Riverdale.
Did you put yourself in the ball? But what was other stuff? No, I remember.
Stay away from the door.
Oh gosh, yes, that door blows off and knocks you and kills you. It's like you say people that came up, hey, stay 6 foot distance. Social distancing.
Well,
the CDC come out and said that was bogus.
Yeah,
they never did it.
Why wasn't it 10
They just picked it. They just grabbed it out of their
why
orifice.
Wasn't it 3 foot?
Why
wasn't it 10 feet?
Exactly. I mean, they just do these things. Hey, nuclear war. No, come on, we don't want no nuclear war. As I believe it. God.
Well, we got time for. We got time for a couple on this.
Yes.
Case. Or you got something else?
You got do your golf tournament. Folks that want to come out and sponsor.
Well,
you got enough info on it? Or you want to wait and?
I forgot what. Yeah, I've got some info on it. I have to go into my phone, and that's very rude. So we'll bring that up next time.
Okay.
It's not until next.
Minute 38. Give us some on this day.
On this day.
Yes.
1957, October.
Was 4th
or 5th?
5 years old, running around Tulare Fields.
Yeah. On this day in 1957, Russia, the USSR, launches Sputnik 1.
Oh yeah. They beat us into space.
Who was the astronaut on that? I used to remember. I can't remember.
It was Oleg Soretinsky. You don't remember that? Hola.
I was going to say Pavlov.
Hola, come here, jump into the
That
castle.
was his dog. Pavlov.
Get in the castle, comrade.
And another on this day.
Yeah.
59 seconds. 1957, again, two on this day from 1950. Leave It to Beaver debuts.
Get out of here.
On national TV.
Jerry Mathers.
Wally and the Beav and
Do you know Wally?
Ward and June.
Wally became a fireman. Wally was a fireman in Clovis, I believe.
He just passed away.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he was.
Did you know he was a fireman here in Clovis?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Dowd. Tommy, what's his name?
Tony Dow.
Tony Dow.
Yeah.
Tony Dow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know he was.
He sold his interest in the stock exchange.
He was a sculptor.
And became an actor. Yeah, he was a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Leave It to Beaver.
Leave
boy.
It to Beav.
Ah, those were the days.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. There was this whole dialogue.
Eddie Haskell, everybody's favorite. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Laura, thank you for your call. Love you all so much. God bless you. And just remember, do your best and let God do the rest. Okay? Don't try to do God's stuff that only God can do. Do your best, let God do the rest. And I promise it will turn out the way it's supposed to. God bless you. Love you. And we'll see you tomorrow on Big Wednesday with Sir Lawrence of Powell.
Are you going to be at the fair?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the fair.
Okay.
I'm going to win.
Oh.
I'm going to ride that big old Ferris